Hello and welcome to the flow. As you become more and more comfortable sitting quietly for 20 minutes a day, you'll begin to notice that words alone are made of straw. They spark a fire, but eventually burn away. Mysticism and an experiential understanding of the divine becomes much more important as this process finds its way into the core of our being. Evelyn Underhill suggests that once we leave the confines of the intellectual sphere, the mystical mind finds that the philosopher guesses and argues, but the mystic lives and looks and engages the world from first-hand experience, not the neat dialectic found in either-or thinking we have in education. Using our mystic mind, let's take a look at our experiences as we wash away the week. I wash away the past week. I seek to remove the dirt and grime of lost opportunities to show love, compassion, and hope. I cleanse the stains of binary criticism, rooted in the need to be right without considering other thoughts and ideas. I scrub away the muck found in looking at people as the other based upon my own prejudices. I wash away the pattern of guilt as the primary motivator for doing good. I bathe in the reality that God is love, that Jesus showed the way, and that the Spirit will move us toward reconciliation and peace. I bathe in the scent of freshness, knowing I have been renewed and restored. I dry my hands feeling God's gentle grace, and that is good enough. In order to love God and neighbor, first learn to love an ant. On a good day, ants can be seen as pests, something that may appear inside our home as a supreme nuisance. Out in the wild, ants can resemble an alien army ready to attack and cause great bodily harm. But ants play an important role in the environment. Ants turn and aerate the soil, allowing water and oxygen to reach plant roots. Ants take seeds down into their tunnel to eat the nutrients that are part of the seed. These seeds often sprout and grow new plants. In order to love God and neighbor, first learn to love an ant. When the soul wants to experience something, she throws out an image in front of her and steps into it. Spirituality is not to be learned by flight from the world or by running away from things things, or by turning solitary and going apart from the world. Rather, we must learn an inner solitude wherever or with whomever we may be. We must learn to penetrate things and find God there. The seed of God is in us. Pear seeds grow into pear trees, hazel seeds into hazel trees, and God seeds into God. Saul, still breathing threats and murder against the disciples of the Lord, went to the high priest and asked him for letters to the synagogues at Damascus, so that if he found any who belonged to the way, men or women, he might bring them bound to Jerusalem. Now, as he was going along and approaching Damascus, suddenly a light from heaven flashed around him. He fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to him, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" He asked, "Who are you, Lord?" The reply came, "I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting. But get up and enter the city, and you will be told what you are to do." The men who were traveling with him stood speechless because they heard the voice, but saw no one. Saul got up from the ground, and though his eyes were open, he could see nothing. So they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus. For 3 days he was without sight, and neither ate nor drank. Did you notice 2 strong themes which are in fact the same? What tugged at me is the reality of a deeply felt mystical experience, ultimately transforming the individual. This experience was so important that Saul became Paul. At the heart of this passage is an example of a dramatic conversion experience, an experience so strong and real that a life is totally transformed. And no, this example is not about standing in front of a group of people acknowledging that Jesus is now my personal Savior. Paul's conversion began with a question, not a command. Scottish theologian John Macquarie once said that a revelation, a lifting of the veil, first begins with questions. Questions are sometimes more important than answers. Here are some questions for you to ponder during your contemplative week ahead. Can you recall an intense, personal, spiritual experience? How did you feel before and after that experience? If you've never had a deep spiritual experience, what might be blocking this invitation? It helps now and then to step back and take a long view. Nothing we do is complete. No statement says all that could be said. No prayer fully expresses our faith. No confession brings perfection. No program accomplishes God's mission. No set of goals and objectives fathoms God's vision. This is what we are about. We plant seeds that one day will grow. We water seeds already planted. We lay foundations that will need further development. We provide yeast that produces far beyond our capabilities. We cannot do everything, and there is a sense of liberation in realizing that. What we do and say may be incomplete, but it is a beginning, a step along the way, an opportunity for Trinity's grace to enter and do the rest. We may never see the end results, but that is the difference between the master builder and the worker. We are workers, not master builders, ministers, not messiahs. We are merely workers in the vineyard of hope, faith, and love. May we see God in each smile. May we hear Christ in the laughter of children, and may the Spirit be found in each bird that takes flight. Let us walk in love. Let us go in peace.